Hey guys, it's Danny. Today part 2 of my mini eBay haul. Yes, I did purchase a few more. They were supposed to arrive actually last week and I was planning a bigger video, but we had some issues with the post. I will get to those issues further on in the video. The orchids we're gonna see today are coming from Catasetum 2, which I think I keep purchasing from for 2 years already, or 3. It really is one of my favorite sellers, and Orchid Man, which is a new favorite seller. Bad thing about Orchid Man is that he has a lot of auctions, and things get so pricey in auctions, and I'm not comfortable with it. Nonetheless, he does have some buy it nows. He has great orchids, I have to say. Some of them look like they have been in people's collections for 20 years or something. I don't know. It's really amazing. Prices are not cheap though. So anyway, enough talk. Let's get to the orchids, see what I purchased. Alrighty, first of all, this little gem right here. I need to hold her because look at the pot, look at the orchid. It's pretty clear it's not stable at all. This one needs to be repotted pretty fast. Alrighty, so judging by the shape of the leaves and of the pseudobulbs, I think you already know what this is. Actually, you don't, but you have an idea of the parentage. Alrighty, so the ID tag says Brassavola flagellaris. It's a little bit of a strange name, crossed with a hybrid between Potinara Easter Costa and SLC California Apricot. Alrighty, those are some pretty cool names, but what does this mean? Well, it's a Brassavola cross, first of all, which is so to my liking. I like everything Brassavola, and also a cross between two yellow, actually orange orchids. The result? Well, it might be something spectacular. Sadly, there is no display picture of this orchid. I did find another seller from France who has it for sale, though at a pretty young age, and they don't have a picture for it, which is sad. I'm pretty sure this is a new type of hybrid, but this orchid appears to already have bloomed. She is obviously mature, and I do have a little sheath here. I checked the older bloom and it doesn't have a big sheath, so this might actually bloom. So because it is such a new hybrid, I presume it's not even registered. There is no picture on the internet with this orchid. So why did I purchase it? Well, first of all, it's a Brassavola cross. There's high chance it is very fragrant. And you might already know that I die for Brassavola fragrances. So part of the reason why I purchased it is the potential fragrance. A little note with the Brassavola hybrids, not all of them, depends how complex they are, but if they have a direct parent, a Brassavola, chances are the orchid will be fragrant in the nighttime. So if you ever come across or purchase a Brassavola hybrid, direct hybrid, and you feel no fragrance during daytime, do check it in the nighttime. There's a high chance it will release a beautiful fragrance in the nighttime. So now that we have the potential fragrance down, let's think about how this orchid might look like. Well, let's take the shape of the Brassavola flower, which I really love, and add some orange to it. Result might be such a wonderful display that I just couldn't resist. So this was purchased from Catasetum 2 from Poland. If you remember last week, we had a little issue with one of the orchids. It spent 2 weeks on transport. Usually it doesn't happen. Polish post is very fast for me. And actually this one arrived in 4 or 5 days. It was lightning fast. And that's what I like to hear. So this is a huge orchid, obviously mature. I paid for it, I don't even remember how much. Maximum 15 pounds. I'm gonna look on eBay and I'm gonna tell you in the description below. And for this price, I got a super mature orchid with a possible blooming sheath right here and a new growth on this side, a lot of canes, and obviously a very healthy orchid. So that's a good deal. This was, of course, a buy it now. Catasetum 2 does not make auctions. Hopefully he will never make auctions, but you never know. But let's keep our fingers crossed that people will not start to only make auctions, because that will be a very sad day for us orchid growers. Alrighty, the second orchid is this little bush right here. This is an Oncidium type, and with all the name changes, I'm not sure how they called this orchid. The last name I remember is Vilstecara. I'm pretty sure it's not available anymore, but let's just call it like that, because it's a more popular name. So this is Vilstecara melissabrianae, and if you remember, I had it a long time ago. I remember to this day. It was when I purchased the Calico Gem, which I lost, along with the melissabrianae, and I also purchased the Holuduan Chameleon Oncidium, which is still going strong, and also the Red Cattleya, which is still going strong. It was a pretty memorable purchase at the time, so I really wanted to replace my lost melissabriana because this is such a gorgeous orchid. You'll see some images on the screen of my previous video, and also I'll share with you the video down below. It's an artistic flower. This is how I described it at the time, about 2 or 3 years ago. Now what happened to that one, I am not yet sure. It wasn't lost in the Fusarium battle, though at the time I didn't know about this disease, so who knows. The problem was that it slowly melted. It did not produce any new roots, no matter what. So obviously the pseudobulbs depleted slowly, and I lost it. I really wanted to repurchase it, never had the chance, but there we go. I got a really bushy one. Now this one arrived with flowers, but the flowers are spent, and the reason for that is that transport took a lot of time this time. I think there were some issues with the Netherlands post. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. It took 2 weeks, which is a little bit abnormal. With my Phragmipediums, I didn't have this issue. I'm saying there might have been a problem because one of my friends actually completely lost a package from Klassen. And it had a tracking number. The tracking number said lost. It was the first time I ever saw this. Now I'm not sure what the status of that is. It has been lost for a week now. Really hope she gets it, but it's already 3 weeks. I'm not sure how the orchids are doing. And a little side note, I don't know what the update is right now. She will probably make a video, I'm not entirely sure. But I'm not really happy about how Klassen dealt with the situation. Eventually they might give a refund or replacement, but so far they're kind of, well, let's just wait and see what happens. It's out of our control. Well, yes, but you have to have insurance, right? At least tell me it's okay, we're gonna refund you or something if it continues to be lost, and it's already been 3 weeks. Anyway, I don't want to go further into the situation because I don't know how they will eventually handle it, but so far I'm not liking it, and I was actually planning an order at Klassen. I'm not sure if I will right now, to be honest with you. We'll see how they treat the situation with my friend. They don't treat it right. Bye-bye, Klassen. Well, I'm a little savage this morning. Let's get back to our orchid. So the Melissa Briannae, wonderful flower, but it has an issue. To me, it smells like fish, the flowers. And when I opened this orchid, a waft of fish smell just poured out. Now I can handle it because it's not very offensive, it's not like rotten fish or anything, and it's not very strong, although you definitely feel it, so I'm okay with it. But it might just be me because Ana Maria on YouTube, she recently purchased this orchid. She didn't feel the fishy fragrance, so it might just be something with me. I don't know. If you have this orchid, let me know. Does it smell like fish for you? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm really curious. I still love it. So let's take a look at this little orchid here. We have tons of new growth and tons of roots. This is something quite common with the Melissa Briannae. Even though it has roots, the pseudobulbs do have a tendency to wrinkle a little bit when they flower. My older one did that as well. The pictures that I see on the internet, they all do this. So this might be quite normal. My orchid has a ton of roots. She is hydrated, she's not dehydrated. I think it's pretty normal when they bloom. See, it's a blooming pseudobulb and it's wrinkled, blooming pseudobulb wrinkled. This one is just producing a flower spike. I just see it now. It's a flower spike here. Not sure if it's gonna develop. Wrinkled, and there's another one here with a flower spike, wrinkled yet again. But it's not a lot of wrinkles. I'm presuming this is normal. I do know that the Catherine Zoke, the Oncidium, does that as well, so I'm not worried. But I'm not worried, this orchid has a ton of roots. It might just be how it is. Now for this one, I paid £11. I don't know if I mentioned. And it was a buy it now from Orchid Man from Netherlands. Of course, I had to have it. For £11, I'm not entirely sure if I can find something like this from the shops. Oh, here's the flower spike. Not sure if it's gonna make it. It's okay, I can wait. But there we go, I'm working on completing my Oncidium collection, especially the ones that I lost. Up next, I guess, is the Cherry Baby. And let's get to the third orchid. Alrighty, the third orchid, and I don't have a video for this one. It's not a replacement, but I'll show you a picture. It's a pretty popular orchid. This is the Miltonia Peter Comp. I wanted this orchid for such a long time, never found it available on eBay at least, and I didn't want to make a full order at a nursery to get it, so I just happened to saw it at Orchid Man's. But I have to be honest with you, I'm ashamed to admit, this was an auction and I won the auction. So I did cave in, but it's really not gonna happen often. The way auctions go, I don't think I'll ever do it again, but this was just a fluke. So I bidded £20, that was my maximum bid, and I managed to get it for £18. So it wasn't a big battle for this orchid. Some of the orchids there just went to £30, and that's just not my price range. But I was willing to pay £20 for this one, considering how much I wanted it. So there we go. I participated in an auction. It's not gonna happen often because it kind of hurt. What's so special about this Miltonia? Well, she is amazingly fragrant. I talked to Ana Maria who has it, and it bloomed for her, and she said it has an amazing fragrance, that I'm gonna love it. So I'm really excited about this one. As you can see, pretty vigorous orchid, need to hydrate it a little bit. It was in the order that took 2 weeks to arrive to me, but she does have a nice new growth right here. This one seems to be a vigorous grower and not hard to care for in a home. It is a Miltonia, not a Miltoniopsis. There's a big difference. This one prefers, or actually can tolerate, heat and warmer temperatures. It is definitely not as finicky as a Miltoniopsis in recovering, so pretty confident on this one. And of course, judging by the size of it, it is a mature orchid. Now, I don't see any remnants of flower spikes. No, there are no flower spikes here, but that's okay. I can make it bloom. And considering 2 weeks on transport, she's looking quite nice, wouldn't you say? Well, apart from the wrinkles, we can fix that. I don't have any cold damage on this one. If you remember, my Miltonia last week had quite a lot of cold damage, but now I'm happy to say that orange tint is completely gone. The orchid is perfectly fine. I'm happy about it. She is hydrated right now. So the cold damage was not necessarily damage, but it was some stress on the leaves and on the new growth. On this one, I don't see any type of stress or damage, so I'm happy about it. I have a very old leaf right here, which is yellowed. That is not an issue. It is a very old pseudobulb. It doesn't mean it's sick or anything. It's just an old leaf, and eventually they do fall off after years and years. So this has been the Miltonia Pure Comp, very popular Miltonia, supposed to be amazingly fragrant. Happy about it, not happy about the price in the auction. Don't mind me, that's just me. But yeah, I just really wanted to have it. I think the only other orchid that I would go through an auction for to have it, of course if it's in good condition, would be the Oncidium Cherry Baby, which still nobody put up for sale on eBay. I can't believe this, but I have faith. It's not a rare orchid. So alrighty guys, thank you for watching this video. You have links to these sellers down below. They still have beautiful orchids for sale. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe to my channel for hopefully daily orchids and plants videos. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a video. With that said, I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Bulbophyllum, why you do this to me? So it started to create a new growth here on an older pseudobulb, and I was hoping for a new growth on the newest pseudobulb here and have 2 directions of growth and 2 flower spikes, and everybody would have been happy. But no, there is no new growth as far as I can see here, only this one. Why? Why don't you want to become bushy?